January 1788 to August 1788. A few days after my arrival in ports in Port Jackson, I set off with a 6-oared boat and a small boat, intending to make as good a survey of the harbour as circumstances would admit. I took to my assistance Mr. Bradley, the first lieutenant, Mr. Kelty, the master, and a young gentleman of the quarter-deck. During the time we were employed on the service, we had frequent meetings with different parties of the natives, whom we found at this time very numerous, a circumstance which, I confess, I was a little surprised to find, after what had been said of them in the voyage of the Endeavour, for I think it is observed in the account of that voyage that at Botany Bay they had seen very few of the natives, and that they appeared a very stupid race of people, who were void of curiosity. We saw them in considerable numbers, and they appeared to us to be a very lively and inquisitive race. They are a straight, thin, but well-made people, rather small in their limbs, but very active. They examined with the greatest attention, and expressed the utmost astonishment at the different covering we had on, for they certainly considered our clothes as so many different skins, and the hat as a part of the head. They were pleased with such trifles as we had to give them, and always appeared cheerful and in good humour. They danced and sung with us, and imitated our words and motions, as we did theirs. They generally appeared armed with a lance, and a short stick which assists in throwing it. This stick is about 3 feet long. It is flattened on one side, has a hook of wood at one end, and a flat shell let into a split in the stick at the other end, and fastened with gum. Upon the flat side of the stick the lance is laid, in the upper end of which is a small hole, into which the point of the hook of the throwing stick is fixed. This retains the lance on the flat side of the stick. Then poising the lance, thus fixed, in one hand, with the forefinger and thumb over it, to prevent its falling off sideways, at the same time holding fast the throwing stick, they discharge it with considerable force, and in a very good direction, to the distance of about 60 or 70 yards. Their lances are in general about 10 feet long. The shell at one end of the throwing stick is intended for sharpening the point of the lance, and for various other uses. I have seen these weapons frequently thrown, and think that a man upon his guard may with much ease either parry or avoid them, although it must be owned they fly with astonishing velocity. While employed on the survey of the harbour, we were one morning early in the upper part of it, and at a considerable distance from the ship, going to land, in order to ascertain a few angles, when we were a little surprised to find the natives here in greater numbers than we had ever seen them before.